In a few short months, your intelligence will develop to a new level. This call is not only a reminder, but also a commitment to yourself, a promise that, if you persevere and practice, you will gradually realize the laws that govern life, thereby mastering yourself and reaching success. Understanding humanity becomes a core element, the secret that the richest people not only hold to create huge profits, but also to maintain power and freedom in life. This article will lead you on a journey to deeply explore the principles of psychology, how human instincts work, and how successful people apply that understanding to build a business system and make sustainable money. Let's explore together the secrets behind the making money of the richest people. Understand that the key to success does not lie in accumulating wealth, but in the ability to master yourself and make the most of human knowledge. Chapter 1: Awakening the Mind. The first step to mastering your life. Discover yourself. Amidst the endless flow of information, in the modern world we live in a huge sea of information. Every day, from the sensational news headlines, short videos that flash across your screen to the status lines on social media, everything is designed to keep you busy, leaving no time for reflection. But do you really realize that among them, the majority of information is just pieces carefully arranged to dominate your thoughts? Media and advertising platforms have created a sophisticated system of manipulation where you do not choose the information, but the information chooses you. When you just scroll by, without stopping to wonder or ask questions, you gradually lose the ability to think independently, becoming a puppet in the hands of the system. But the first step to mastering your life is to awaken your mind, to realize that your true freedom is not determined by external things, but lies in your ability to control your own thoughts and emotions. Mind control, the key to freedom. Imagine you are walking down a road, and there are countless ironic signs, directions and suggestions that you should go in a certain direction. You are free to choose, but if you don't stop and think, you will easily get carried away by the flow that others have already laid out. In life, your decisions are often not based on reason, but on emotional reactions, and those reactions are often triggered by messages from the outside. It is important to realize that you have control over your thoughts. You can filter information and ask yourself questions. Only when you have control over your thinking can you be truly free. Successful and wealthy people are not just talented or lucky, but they know how to master their minds, know how to filter out external distractions to focus on personal goals. They understand that only when you realize your own value can you live a self-sufficient and meaningful life. Awakening. The first journey to awakening self-knowledge. To awaken your mind, you need to start with small but decisive steps. Start by asking yourself, what do I really want from this life? What makes me happy? What makes me proud of myself? Are the decisions I make truly my own, or are they just the result of outside influences? Regularly asking yourself these questions will help you gradually realize that freedom does not come from having a lot of information, but from how you use and process that information. That is the key to becoming the master of your own life. Building mindfulness. To develop mindfulness, you can practice the following exercises. Keep a thought diary. Record your thoughts, feelings, and decisions during the day. Then review them to see if those decisions really come from you or are just reactions to the flow of society. Meditate. Spend at least 10-15 minutes a day meditating, focusing on your breathing and letting your mind become quiet. When your mind is at peace, you will easily recognize which thoughts are your own and which are messages influenced by the outside. Read and ask yourself questions. When reading an article or watching a video, ask yourself, where is this information coming from? What is its purpose? This helps you develop critical thinking and not be easily swept away by pre-built illusions. The importance of mindfulness in life. Remember, every decision you make, no matter how small, has an impact on your life. If you do not actively ask questions and orient yourself, you will quickly become a victim of the manipulative system. And in the end, you will no longer be the master of your own life. Successful people do not just live according to the path that society has drawn. They dare to innovate, dare to try, and most importantly, they dare to decide for themselves. This can only come when you learn to awaken your mind, realizing that true freedom always lies in the ability to control your own thoughts. By realizing that, although you think you are free to choose, in reality, many of your decisions are influenced by the flow of information and manipulation tactics. Starting today, stop and ask yourself, who am I really? Am I living according to my values or just following the flow of society? When you start asking these questions, you will gradually develop the ability to think independently and take back control of your life. Freedom does not come from having a lot of information, but from how you use that information to guide your life. Remember, true freedom begins with the ability to master your mind, and that is the key to unlocking the door to sustainable success. Chapter 2. The Herd Psychology, when your decisions are pre-directed. The herd effect and the power of consensus. Do you ever feel like you are always acting according to the trend without asking yourself, is this my own choice? Or am I just being swept up in the general trend? The herd effect. The phenomenon when people lose the ability to think independently and act in a crowd is one of the most powerful manipulation tools the system uses. According to the theory of psychologist Gustave Le Bon, when an individual blends into a crowd, they are easily infected by the general emotions of the group. This causes people to gradually become uniform, lose their individual perspective, and only act according to the majority is always right. When you are caught up in the herd effect, you are easily influenced by the decisions of others, from consumer product choices to political views, and even how you react to life events. Herd dependence and its consequences. In modern society, many people live with the fear of being left out or different if they do not follow the general trend. Social pressure. You may feel pressured when you see everyone around you doing things a certain way. For example, when you see thousands of likes and shares on a post or video, your brain automatically assumes that it is the standard for you to believe and act accordingly. Loss of independent thinking. When you only know how to follow the crowd, you will gradually lose the ability to analyze, evaluate, and make your own decisions. Instead of asking yourself, why am I doing this? You just know everyone is doing it, so I have to do it too. Dependence on other people's recognition. When your value is defined by the consensus of the crowd, you are easily swayed by compliments or criticism from others. This not only affects your self-esteem, but also puts you in a never-ending loop of seeking acceptance. The majority is always right strategy. How the system creates the illusion of trustworthiness. On social media platforms, algorithms are programmed to display content that the majority is interacting with. For example, when you see a product with thousands of positive reviews, you automatically believe that it is a quality product, even though it may not be. A post that goes viral will make you believe it is true, because the strong spread of the majority acts as a testimonial to the value of that content. The majority is always right effect makes you gradually lose the ability to question and verify information for yourself. You will act on what you see without analyzing it yourself, because the consensus of the crowd has defined the truth for you. To practice independent decision-making. To escape the trap of crowd mentality, you need to practice the following exercises. Keep a decision journal. Every time you make a decision, write down why you acted that way. Then review your journal to identify automatic behavioral patterns that are influenced by the consensus of the crowd. Engage in discussions with people who have different perspectives. Don't just follow the majority. Discuss, ask questions, and try to understand the perspectives of others. This will help you develop your critical thinking skills. Question yourself before each action. Every time you are about to make a decision, whether it's buying a product or sharing a post, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it my own choice or just a reaction to the trend? The importance of awareness and reflection. When you become aware of the herd effect and learn to reflect on information, you will gradually regain control. You will no longer be a victim of other people's opinions, but will become the one who actively directs your own life. Truly successful people always know how to separate themselves from the crowd, ask questions, and build their own opinions, instead of simply going with the flow. They understand that the value of a decision is not in the number of likes or the consensus of others, but in creativity, independent thinking, and the ability to control emotions. Take control of your own decisions. If you have ever felt confused, anxious, or wondered if you are living your life on your own terms or just following the crowd, this is the time to stop and think carefully. Remember, every decision you make, no matter how small, has an impact on your life. Don't let the majority decide for you. Ask yourself questions, analyze yourself, and make choices that are consistent with your own values and goals. Horse mentality is one of the most subtle traps that the manipulation system uses to control your behavior. When you just follow the flow of the crowd, you lose the ability to self-orient and evaluate the truth independently. But you can change that. By practicing independence in thinking, asking questions, and carefully analyzing all information, you will gradually regain control of your life. Your decisions are only truly valuable when they come from your own mind, not the result of the consensus of the crowd. If you are ready to no longer be a victim of crowd mentality, start your journey to practice independent thinking and self-control today. Remember, your freedom does not lie in following what others are doing, but in your ability to decide your own path. Chapter 3. Emotional Manipulation Tactics. How they control you without knowing it. Emotions, the most powerful weapon of manipulation. Have you ever wondered why, in decisive moments, you are so easily carried away by your emotions, without realizing that those emotions may not be of your own making? The truth is, your emotions, fear, greed, and anger, are often subtly triggered by the manipulation system to lead you to act in ways you do not realize. When you are dominated by emotions, you are more likely to make decisions based on feelings instead of reason. Emotional manipulation tactics. Hitting the weak points of the mind. The manipulation system uses emotions as a tool to control you. Let's explore 3 main tactics. Fear manipulation. Negative news. Television channels and newspapers constantly report on crises, accidents, epidemics, and scary events. These shocking headlines stimulate fear, making you feel that the world is in chaos and you need to act immediately to protect yourself. Insurance advertising. Insurance advertising campaigns often emphasize tragic images and warnings about an unsafe future, aiming to make you feel scared enough to buy insurance to secure yourself and your family. The FOMO effect.